Good day, everyone. How are you all doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. You're doing great. And in today's video, we will be creating interesting games or an interesting generator. It is important not to use your real name or any personal information in your online username. In this project, you'll generate fun usernames that you can use on websites like Scratch. What you will make: click the gold sprite to generate a new username. Click the tick to add a username you like to the list. What you will learn is how to use lists in Scratch, how to use the Paint tool to create images, and how to export text files and images from Scratch. So let's get right down to business, guys. Let's do this. All right, so here we have our Scratch desktop opened. So a couple of things just to remind you of. There are lots of websites and apps that use a username to identify you. This username is often visible to others. Usernames can also be called screen names, gamer tags, or handles. It's important that your username isn't your real name and also doesn't include any personal information such as your age, year of birth, or where you live. Other people will see your username, so make sure it's polite and consider what people will think about you when they read it. Remember that you might be using your username for a long time. Will you still like it in 3 years? As you can see, it's important to choose a username carefully. Let's create a Scratch project to generate adjective noun usernames like Diamond Guana. So to do this, we're going to open our starter project. So we're going to click on File, Load from your computer, and you guys will find it where you saved yours. Make sure you have all files selected so that everything appears on the screen, and we will be using the username generator and resources, as you guys will be having the username generator and solutions. So you're going to right click on this folder and extract all. Once you do that, you can date modify by clicking on date modify, scroll up, and you should see the folder right over here, username generator and solutions. Open it and you have your file right here. You'll click on it to open it. There we go. So now you should see two lists on the stage: adjectives and nouns. Adjectives and nouns right there. Click on variables and then click the boxes next to adjectives and nouns to uncheck them and hide the lists. So we're going to go to variables and just uncheck these boxes so the stage is empty. Now we're going to add a variable called username, which should be available for all sprite. So we're going to make a variable called username, and say OK. Now check or click the box next to username to uncheck it and hide the variable from the stage. All right. Then we're going to add a person sprite. You can choose your favorite one. So we're going to click on choose a sprite, and I'm going to choose Abby. There we go. So now you can also click on costumes and choose the costume you prefer. So if you go to costumes, you can click on Abby doing this, or doing that. So I'm going to choose Abby smiling at me. So now we're going to add this code to our person sprite. So we go to events. When this sprite clicked, go to variables, set username to 0. You need to combine an adjective and a noun. So add a join block inside your set block. So we go to operators and drag in the join block. Then we're going to add an adjective in the first block in the join block. All right, so we go to variables and drag in item 1. All right, so we're going to go scroll down, item 1 of adjectives in the first block, and then pick a random adjective between 1 and the length of the adjectives list. So in order to do this, we're going to go to operators, and then we're going to pick random and replace it with 1. So it's going to pick random 1 to length, which is in variables, length of adjectives. Length of adjectives. Okay. Then we're going to add a random noun in the second block. So in the second block, we're going to add item 1 right there. Then we're going to say pick random 1. Oopsie. Oh, gonna have to restore that. Going to undo. There we go. Just okay, there we go. Perfect. So we've got item pick random 1 to length of nouns. Length of nouns. All right, length of, click here, nouns. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Make sure it is, instead of adjectives, it's nouns as well. Now add code blocks to get your person to say the username. Okay, so we're going to just make sure we bring this back here. It's a pretty long code, as you guys can see. We go to looks and then say, go to variables, say username. Now test your code by clicking on the person's right. You should get a new random username each time. So we're going to click on our person, Jade Mantis, Jade Oryx, Teal Mantis, Ruby Dragon. Okay. So now, can you add more items to the lists of adjectives and nouns? Check the boxes for the list to show them on the stage, then click the plus icon and type a new word into the list. Don't forget to start each word with a capital letter. So let's make sure adjectives gets shown. Then we use the plus sign, and let's pick a name. Let's pick an adjective. Long. Right, let's choose another one. Make sure that one will be Tyron. Next one, let's think, jump. And then the last one, let's think, let's see, Ethan. There we go, Ethan. Okay, so we've got 10 adjectives. So let's do the same with nouns. So we've got 6. Let's see, nouns. Mouse. You can say mouse. Number 8, I can say pet. Number 9, I can say light. And the last one, stray. All right, there we go. And then I'll uncheck them to remove them from the list. So real and imaginary animals and creatures work well in the nouns list. Try to think of unusual ones like I have. Here are some ideas for the adjectives list. Metals: zinc, copper, iron, brass, silver. Colors: crimson, aqua, magenta, golden, indigo. Gemstones: quartz, emerald, sapphire, and diamond. Habitats: moon, desert, snow, jungle, forest, space. So we can use those. So we can go to adjectives. All right. I can replace long with zinc. Tyron with iron. Make sure you start with a capital letter. Jump, I can type the emerald. emerald. Okay, and the last one, 10, I can use space. Okay, then we can do the same for nouns. So I used mouse. I can use dog. I can use dog. Dragonfly. Dragonfly. And fox. That's a nice one. Fox. Fox. There we go. So we've got 10 adjectives and 10 nouns. Remember to hide the list from the stage when you're testing your project. All right, saving your favorite username. That's the next step. So you probably want to consider a few different usernames. Let's add usernames that you like to a list. So we're going to create a new list called names I like. So make a list called names I like. And we click OK. And make sure we uncheck the box. So the list will appear on the stage. Drag it to the right of the person sprite and make it wider. Okay, so we can do that. To the right here. Alright, so add the button 4 sprite, which looks like a tick, and drag it across the stage to the right of the speech bubble. So we're going to go to choose a sprite. It's button 4. Alright, let's move Abby right over here. Let's put the tick over here. There we go. Names I like with the button 4 sprite. You may need to move the names I like list of the button 4 sprite is underneath it. Now, add code to the button sprite so that when it is clicked, the current username is added to names I like. So button sprite, go to events, drag out when this sprite is clicked, go to variables, drag out add username to names I like. Test your code by clicking on the person sprite until you find a username you like and then click the tick. So I'm going to click on Abby. I like Emerald Fox, so I'm going to add that. Zinc Mouse, nope. Space Dragon, that's a nice one too. Okay, so you can export your list of usernames to a text file to save them. Right-click on the names I like list on the stage, click export and choose a place to save the list as a file. So we're going to right-click export and then we're going to save it as names I like and say save. Ooh. Let's try again. Right-click export. Oh, there it is. Names I like. Okay. You now have a text file containing a list of names that you can open with Notepad or another text editor such as WordPad. Okay, so now on a popular website or apps, it can be really hard to find a username that someone else isn't already using. Or you might find that the username you use on one site is already taken on other sites. To get around that, you could add a number to the end of your username. Remember not to use your age, birth date, or birth year. Can you use the following blocks to generate usernames with a random number at the end? So we're going to need the set username to, the join block, the username block, and the pick random block as well. So new usernames you generate should now have numbers at the end. Numbers at the end. So now, let's say you've got the set username right here. All right, so we say set username to, and then we have the join block. The join block right here as well. So now join username. Let's say control. Oh, not control, variables, username right here. join. Alright, so now we have come to the end of our game. As you guys can see, I've changed a few things. I've changed my stage to a blue color. I have my Abby over here, my username generator right here, and we can save them in the names I like list. So now we have come to the end of our project. This wasn't a long project. This was a simple username generator that you have created for yourself. So thanks for your time. Please visit us at www.pingacademy.co.za, where we will continue creating games like these. Goodbye.